Can everyone hear me okay? All right, good, good. Thanks a lot, Patrick. Welcome. Good to see you. All right, good to see you, Mike, John, Irving, everyone. Welcome. All right, so let me just get the recorder up and running. We'll just get started. Looks like we got it running. Perfect. All right. So welcome, everyone. My name is Fausto from Cybertrade University, and I welcome you to come on this Friday. We're going to talk about some great stuff about some trading. We had actually a pretty fabulous week in trading. I want to show you what's moving. I want to show you how we do some day trading, some swing trading, some options trading. Big mistake a lot of people make when it comes into it. And I could almost guarantee you within the next few minutes, I'm going to show you stuff that are going to blow your mind, and you're going to be probably so angry at yourself and be like, why did I not know this before? And that's the beauty about understanding how to trade the right way. And that's what we're looking to do, because trading is a great career, but the issue is you have to know where to find them, and most importantly, how to control those big losers. Now, before we get started, just a quick little risk disclosure. I'm not making any guarantees or promises. Everyone we train varies from student to student. So, please be very careful when you go out there and invest in today's markets, because it is a very volatile market and you could lose everything, even more than that. All right. Now, with that said, this is what we're going to be covering today. We're going to probably go for about 50 minutes. Now, I don't know where the 50 minutes comes from, because by the time I'm already into this, we're pretty much done. It goes so fast, but it gets really exciting, and I get excited about it. But we're going to cover some big things. I'm going to show you how we follow the big money. Now, how do I know that? Because I was a market maker. I live here in New York, financial capital of the world, trained by some of the best traders in the industry. I'm going to show you how they trade today's volatile markets. I'm going to talk about the most important tools that you need. What tools are they? They're not the Cybertrade University tools. It's not the Fausto Pugliese indicator. It's what Wall Street trades on, things like level 3 and level 4. We're going to talk about best times and worst times to trade. We're going to talk about how to just be an overall rounded good trader, when it comes into the market. We'll cover a couple of swing trades. We'll show you some things that are moving and how to prepare for it. And then we're going to talk a lot more. But the most important thing, everybody, here is this. I am only here for the goodness of my heart. Okay? If you want to make this exciting, if you want to really know the truth of how to stop losing and making sure you're learning from people that know what they're talking about, I would highly recommend that everybody here chats back to me, because I am going to ask a lot of questions. And I don't like to go out there and single anyone out, doing something. So please turn your TV off. Don't be looking at other chat rooms. Don't worry about a stock that you're in right now. Let's focus on what's going on right here, because that's what we're going to be doing. So what I want to do right away to make this very exciting, I want to go into the market and start looking what's going on. All right. So I want to bring up an execution system. And we're going to talk about some stocks that are moving in the market right now. Now, did anybody, this stock is expensive, okay? But did anybody see what happened with this stock, SMCI? Anybody see? Just give me a yes or no. Okay, well, some of you are students right here, Linda, everyone else. But look at this stock right here. This stock came out and made a report that they were going to beat earnings, and earnings didn't come out yet. Stock started around 300. It's at 750. Okay, did not stop. Now, I am really ticked off at myself, because I owned it and I sold it, and then paying $100 more. And then it went up even higher. And actually, just the other day, it went up like another 100 points. So, I still own it. I'm up about 17,000 on it, on 100 shares, more or less. But that was more of a swing trade, okay? But there are other stocks out there that are moving, that this is just more swing trades, okay? There's some day trades. Did you guys see this INBS trade? INBS, anybody see it? It's up 232%. Now, I want to bring this up over here. This is my trading room, all right? Now, I want to blow this up. I want to show you what's going on. Let me hide this right here for you. So if you look right here, let me draw some. You know what? Let me get some crayons out here so you guys can follow along. You see right here, fellow traders, stock's up 253%. This stock right here, we've been watching it all morning. Now, this is our chat room. On the left-hand side, hold on a second. There we go. pointer. Right here on the left-hand side, these are all our moderators, all our instructors over here on the left-hand side. And you can see that we've been trading this stock, all day. You can see it right here from the chat, and you can see all the traders are in them. What I want to do and get everyone all excited is this. I want to invite all of you to come into my trading room. This trading room is the original trading room that I started 30 years ago. I started the first trading room. How did I start it? I'll tell you a little history about myself and, and basically what we do and why we've been around for 30 years and why we've been endorsed by more brokerage firms and have the best reputation on the internet, 5-star rating on Google, than anyone in the industry. Because we teach people not how to make money, but we teach them how to stop losing it and how to cut their losses and move on. But everyone's going to see stocks like this that are moving. Hold on, let me just clear this out. And there are just so many of them out there that were moving with it. Tops was up a little bit higher this morning. This stock literally ran, if you were here this morning, ran from like $6 at the open and then shot up all the way to about $8. I mean, there's so many stocks out there that are moving, but you just need to know who pushed them and how they went up. All right. Now, with that said, does anyone have any questions? Yes or no? Before we get started, I want to hear. Give me a chat. Anybody there? Let me double check. Any questions? Just give me a yes or no. All right, Patrick, no, not yet, Irving. That's what I want to hear. All right. What about you, Keith? I didn't hear from you. All right, don't let me start picking on people. Listen, the biggest failure rate of people is when they don't talk. All right. All right. So let me X out of this. And before we start going into things that are moving today and what we traded and how to find out, let's get right to the basics. All right. Did anyone see the stock HOLO this week? Anybody see this stock right here? Pat, you did? Alicia, you did? Okay. No problem. Well, look at this stock, how it moved. I want to point this out to you. The misconception people get is that they think that there's only the fabulous 7 stocks that trade, the NVIDIAs, the Amazons, the Facebooks, and everything else. And then they find out they can't afford them because they got too expensive. Then they get in trouble and they trade the option. And then they get talked into somebody's telling them how to trade the option and play the shortcuts. Let me explain something to you. If you don't know how to be a good stock trader, you'll never learn how to be a good swing trader or an investor. Okay. So, and not only that, but there's never don't ever think like, oh, this stock is too cheap. They don't move. I don't know what the company does. You want to be a good trader? Then try not to think you know everything. Okay. It doesn't matter what you think. It's what the street thinks. And when you have a stock like this that starts at $3.40 at 9:45 and goes to 5:40 in less than 15 minutes, I don't care who you are, what you think. $2 on 1,000 shares is a $500,000 salary at the end of the year if you bought 1,000 shares of that. But not only that, the stock continued to go higher. Look what happened at the 10 o'clock. It ran to 5 and it ran all the way to $8. So it's never too late to trade. Never too late to trade. And guess what? What's even better than that, it ran to $10. We went from $3 to $10. So better than that, it ran to $28. Okay. Now, how many of you ever been in a stock that went up, I don't know, what is that, 2,000%? Now, listen, I'm not putting some feathers in my caps and so on. I'm just trying to point out that if there are other stocks out there than NVIDIA. There are other stocks than, Eli Lilly that are running, or Facebook, move over the course of the day. You just got to know where to look, and you just got to know how to follow them. All right. And that's what I'm here to tell you about. Now, how do I know this? Because you are listening and watching one of the original day traders that started back in the early 90s. That article on the left-hand side, they wrote a big article about people like myself, Forbes, about a bunch of kids tormenting Wall Street. I'm not a kid anymore, but I was 22 back then. Now, you see the, I don't know if you see this right here on the bottom, 1998. Okay. I've been doing since 95. We actually made money on those 15-inch monitors, believe it or not. Okay. I don't think anyone could probably look at those things, but yes, it did work. And not only that, but I'm also the author of a bestseller, published by Wiley, the most prestigious publishing company in the world, how to beat market makers in their own game. Now, what I'm going to do at the end of today's presentation, I'm going to give you a copy of my book for free, okay? You can go to Amazon. You could pay me $47, but if you stick around, I'll give it to you for free, okay? I'll be my gift to you for sticking around. Now, over the years, I'm a 12-time champion. I beat up every school that I competed against. And the reason why is that there's a lot of people out there, they think they are traders, you know, and they like to hide behind this camera. But when I went up against them, you know what? If you look on that 2 screens, which I want to point out, look at my screen. Almost looks exactly the same to today. And then you get people like this. And all they're doing is looking at indicators, chart, indicator, chart, indicator, okay? The difference, what you're seeing here and there, is here you're seeing orders, and here you're seeing a delay quote, okay? And you're going to see the difference of what makes, you know, a champion versus people trying to focus on the past, all right? Now, let me erase this out here, and let me go and show you a couple more things, all right? There we go. So over the years, just give you a little history. I've met some of the best traders in the industry. I rang the bell with the New York Stock Exchange. You could probably recognize some of the faces up on the screen. Listen, great traders surround themselves with great traders, all right? And the reason why is that we love to trade, we love to educate, but most importantly, we hate people like you losing money in the market. And that's why people fail. I'm also a featured at the NASDAQ, and the reason why, and this is going to be very important for you, the exchange wants you to know how to trade the market, okay? And I am going to give everybody a very important link at the end of the presentation of how to trade and have a seat on the exchange, okay? Could you imagine having a seat on the exchange? People are like, well, how's that possible? The reason why? Know who really taught you. And we're going to talk a lot about that. And by the way, if you, we have a couple of videos and we'll be happy to see them. You can watch me do some pretty good explanations on it after this presentation if you want to kind of get a feel of it. Now, the reason why I'm here is this. I'm looking for traders that I could teach and be part of my team. So if you're feeling that you have a little edge and you want to get involved, and you're like, you know what? I want to be part of those people on the left-hand side. Well, this is going to be your chance to do it because Cybertrade University has trained hundreds of thousands of people around the world. There are so many schools out in this industry, and a lot of them are our students, and hopefully maybe you can go out there and be one yourself, all right? But the only way you could do that, you got to learn how to play the game first. So my question to everybody is this. What kind of trader are you, okay? So I don't know if I could do it. We got the poll there. Thank you very much for that, Greg. So if everybody sees I got the poll question up there, could you guys tell me, what kind of trader are you? Are you an options trader, Forex futures options? I'm going to do a little poll, and we're going to share it. We'll see how all of you guys answer this question. Oh, wow. You know what? I'm pretty excited. A lot of you guys answering this question. Good. That's perfect. All right. Now, I'm an actual day trader. What is a day trader? We're just getting in and out the same day we make our money. We just trade specifically just liquidity. Now, I do swing trade. I do some options, but I like to day trade more than anything because things move over the course of the day. I get to sleep at night, make my day's pay. I know what I made for the day. I know what I lost, and that's it. Joe's question, I would like to know if I can apply towards futures day trading. Absolutely, you can do, Joe. Absolutely, you could. And we'll talk about that in the end. But getting back to, let me just end the poll right here and share the results with you. But Joe, like everybody else here, I want to explain something. You could see what everyone here, what kind of trader you are. And I just want to clarify something very important. If you're doing something for more than 3 months, okay, and you're not having fun or losing money, you're probably not for you. You got 2 issues. Number 1, you probably had a really bad instructor who taught you how to do it. Or 2, that type of trading is not for you. And the reason I want to leave you off this metaphor, if anybody here owns a business or went to work with somebody and they brought somebody in and they've been working there for 3 months and they still can't get it, they're actually hurting you than helping you, chances are that person's going to be fired. Well, look at yourself. If you're doing it for more than 3 months, you're not getting it, it's time to move on. All right. Now let's move on and talk about a couple other things. Another question here. what type of education do you have? All right. So let me stop this out, and let's put another poll up there really quick. What type of trader are you? Self-taught? Did you buy a paid course? Do you have a mentor? So everybody can just fill this out. Let's see what everyone has. By the way, if you're a student of mine, please let's not mess up with the poll. So let me just put that and see how you guys answer that. Now, let's see something for a second. I assume a lot of us have kids, okay? And I assume the first thing we always do is when they get to a certain age, they're going to want to learn how to drive. Did you give the keys to your child to drive a car without training them how to drive the car on the first time? Which, by the way, is the most scariest thing ever. Okay, I don't think so. Without even maybe taking his permit, without going through driver's ed. Okay, what makes you better than that? It's the same thing. In other words, would you give your money to somebody who never learned finance? So my point that I'm getting to, let me on the poll right here and share the results. Trading is a 80 to 90% failure rate. By such a big failure rate, why would you be in this business, right? Well, the reason why it's a big failure rate is because those 80, 90% people are self-taught. Just like the parent that gave the kids the key to the car never taught them how to drive the car. And we all know you're basically giving the keys to his coffin. Well, listen, there's no difference than what you're doing and what you did with your child. We have to take it very seriously. We all need to learn how to take paid courses. And you know what? It's going to take you a few people before you find the right one out there. So, and if you did take you didn't take one, listen, it's never too late, because that's why most people show up. They want to know, you know what, maybe there's something better out there. Maybe they don't know of, and I'm glad that you showed up here. So let's talk about the market. Let's have a little fun. Let me kind of teach you the style of Cyber Trade University, because that's what everyone's really here all about. Now, the markets, you could see it. They're breaking all-time highs. I mean, it is just absolutely fabulous what's going on. Some of us are like, damn it, did I get in too late? Whatever it is. And you see stocks that blow out earnings like Meta and Amazon. It's just unbelievable. But the two big questions you have to ask yourself is this: where did we see the top? Where do we see it? Is it going to continue? I mean, there's always a top, right? So basically, when does the crash going to happen when it comes to trading? Well, there's always going to be a crash. You just got to know to prepare for it. And the way you have to prepare for it is you need to know how to predict the future. Now, some people look at that like, kind of story. Where's Fausto going with this? Okay, what are we talking about? How could you predict the future? Well, predicting the future is very easy in trading. And you know what it is? It's following the orders out there. There are things that are called algorithms, high frequency trades, dark pools, BlackRock, Goldman Sachs. They have institutions. They have orders out there. They have to fill orders out there. They want to make sure they got their orders in place in case something happens. But a lot of you don't know that, and that's what we're going to talk about. So we need to know how to prepare for it, and we need to put this stuff in front of us, because we can figure that out. Now, this is why level 3 is so important. So what I want to do is let me do another poll out there. I don't know if I can have it. Now, let me ask everybody, does anyone here have level 3 quotes? Let me see if you can put one last poll up. Okay, thank you very much, Greg. Can everyone just answer this question? Yes, no, you're not sure. Let's see if you can answer that. And by the way, if you're a student, please don't answer the question. We don't want to mess around with the answers. Okay. So as we're putting them in there. All right, we'll give you another second or two. All right, looks like everyone filled it out. Let me end the poll. Let me share it with you. So you could see that 77% of you don't have it. Now think about this, what I just told you earlier. Trading is an 80 to 90% failure rate. Now you just notice that you're part of 77% of the people that don't have it. What you're about to see right now, fellow traders, is this. And please don't it's going to be very disturbing, because you're going to realize that you've been trading blind. You've been trading blind this whole time, but it's okay. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it now, because everybody out there is trying to tell you, hey, look at my Lamborghini. hey, look at all this cash I got it. Everybody's like trying to sell you the dream. Forget about the dream, okay? Because you know how many people, everyone's going to talk, oh, look at my next millionaire. Some of us just want to live. You don't want to see that. You know what you need to learn? You need to learn not about the great things that come out of it. You got to learn about how do I get to there without making the mistake, because you all have lost money, and some of you have lost a lot of money, and some of you also blew up several accounts. And the reason why that is because you don't know how to trade the market. That's where it is. All right. So we're going to talk about two very important things. We're going to talk about level 3 and level 4, NASDAQ Book Viewer and Bookmap. There's two things we're going to talk about, and I call them level 3 and level 4. So let me share it. So let's talk about level 3, NASDAQ Book Viewer, really quick. All right. Now, this probably is going to look a little confusing for you, but you know what? When I kind of explain it, they're going to make a little bit more sense as we move forward. So right here, what you have, and let me get my crayons out here. You got two columns. You got buy orders and you got sell orders. So what you're seeing is everyone that's looking to buy the stock UPST and everybody in the entire world that wants to sell the stock UPST. Now you have three important columns. You got orders, you have shares, and you got the price. Whoever wants to buy the stock up on top is down at the bottom, up all the way on top. Whoever wants to buy the shares for less money is down at the bottom. Whoever wants to sell their shares for the least amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to sell their shares for more money is down at the bottom. So what you're looking at right here, fellow traders, is a negotiated market. You're looking at every single order in the entire world who wants to trade UPST and at what price they want to buy it. Now, just let that sink into your head really quick. You are seeing everybody out there. You have a seat on the floor. You're seeing about 50% of the total volume, because there are other exchanges out there, which we didn't get to. But this is 50% of the volume out there. Now, think about, who do you trust more? The 50% of all the orders out there, or some person you're following on some newsletter, or some indicator that was invented by a mathematician? I mean, that's what the way I was taught of trading. Now, let's put this put it to some perspective of what we're looking at. Now, everything goes up by buyers and sellers. Okay, so what we're looking at right here is what is a bid, which is buyers, and you'll notice right here at this number, right around this, was this $16? Stock came down from like 17, went down to 16, and went right back up to 17.60. Now, why did the stock stop at 16 and had to get up to 17.60 so fast? Well, there's only one way to explain it. Buyers and sellers. Buyers make support, sellers make resistance. And you'll notice that we had a 63,000 share buyer, and there's about 183 orders that make up the 63,000 there at $16. Now, you might be asking, is that a lot of money? You know what? When everybody out there showing 2,000, 3,000, 600, 400, 63,000, I mean, how many of you out there are buying 63,000 shares worth of stock, unless you're buying a penny stock, okay? 63,000 at $16, that's not chump change. That's a lot of money. And remember, and it's not one person, it's 183 people out there that make up that order. So don't ever think like, because I know the next question people are going to ask me, oh, what about spoofing, Fausto? I heard about that. Listen, we'll talk about that. Okay. Oh, what about the fake orders? We'll talk about that. But right now, let's just keep it what we call the KISS method. Keep it super simple. Let's look at our resistance levels. Now, if you notice up on top, it says ask equals resistance. You ever thought about that for a second? What does that mean? What it means is that everybody out there is doing the opposite. They don't look for the sellers. They look for resistance. Well, you can't have resistance unless the seller is out there selling it. Follow what I'm saying? So that's why we got to look at the ask before we could look at resistance. And when you look at this example right here, PLTR had a really nice run in the morning. Had a really nice run for about just below $20. And about an hour ran to about close to $22. That is a very big run up for a stock. Do you know if you made, I don't know, let's say you bought it at 20 and you sold at, I don't know, 21, even though it ran to almost 22, you made $1 on 1,000 shares. That's $1,000. That's $250,000 salary. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a lot of money to me, wouldn't you say? Hell, if you only bought half that at a $10,000 investment, you made $500, it's a $100,000 salary. I don't think anyone's turning that away. But the question that you have to, what we're asking here is this. Why did the stock decide to go down right below 20? Well, when you look on, well, the only reason why is there must have been a big seller out there. And if you notice at 22, there was a 227,000 share seller out there. 227,000? How many of you, and not only that, that is 616 orders that make that. So I'm going to ask everybody a question here, okay? How many of you here are in a stock right now and see these big iceberg orders, what we call here, of 227,000 shares? How many of you here are seeing that? No, no, no. Look at all the no's I'm getting. No. How much smarter and better trading decisions would you make if you knew where those 227,000 share sellers are? Okay? Be a total different game changer. But we got to look at, but let's go look at the Mr. Fibonacci. Oh, let's look at the Shanken, because he's got a great commercial that he knows when the next crash is coming. And I'm not looking to bash anybody, okay? But what I do get upset about is that everyone teaches the same thing. And then when people come here and they're like, why does nobody talk about this? I'll tell you why they don't talk about it. Because they were never a market maker. They might have something that works well for them, but they were never a trader. So if you want a little advice from me, at the end of the presentation, I'm going to invite all of you to come and see this live. But if you are learning from someone, the first most important thing I would ask them is, number one, who trained you? Number two, who endorses you, as in brokerage firms or exchanges? And number three, were you ever a floor trader on the floor? Because, listen, if I wanted to be a professional football player, I want to learn from a professional football player. If I wanted to learn how to be a race car driver, I want to learn from a race car driver. Okay? Not a hockey player. You understand? You want to learn from it. You want to learn how to trade the market. You want to learn from people that trade, that were market makers. Now, let me move on. I got more. Let's go. I got more examples. So let's look at this example right here. This happened this morning. CLSK. Did anybody see the stock this morning? CLSK? I know we have some students that were in our trading room. I know some of you in here, right? Everyone remembers? Okay. Now, can everyone tell me, where do you see the biggest amount of shares looking to be in the stock? Where do you see the biggest amount of shares in it? Where do you see it? Let's see if you guys can answer this question. I mean, listen, I spelt it out there on top. If you guys are reading, you know what I mean? Could everybody write down 1345? Because you said 1345, you're correct. If you did not see this, if you didn't see this right here, I don't know what you were looking at. All right, can everybody put that in there? Listen, we have almost 100 people in here. What are you doing? Answer. Do you not see that? Do you know how much money that is right there? That is a lot of shares, okay? And not only that, but let me just eliminate something else. It's just not this seller right here, but it's also this seller right here. There's another 60,000, just 5 cents below him, and 11,000 at 145. There's more than 230,000. It's almost like 300,000. So without even thinking, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, right now, you could see the stock's at 1289. What do you think is going to happen when we get somewhere around 1345? Do you think the stock's going to go up or is it going to go down? What do you think, fellow traders? What do you think is going to happen? Kerry, do you think? Patrick, do you think? Ed, you think? It's going to go down, right? Okay. Look what happened when the stock started here at 1287 at around 935, had a great run up, went right to 1350. Not once, twice. Okay, twice. It did it here. It did it here, and it did it here. Okay, it went to 1280, came back down. Went to 1280, hit 1350, came crashing down. Look how fast this thing dropped from here to here in minutes because that seller was there. Crash. All right, crashed. Let me clear this out. And let me show you something here. Not only he went from 1350, but the seller dropped down to $13 now. He says, you know what? I got to get out of this position. I got to get out. All right. Now he's hovering here. Now he's hovering here at 13. See him right there? He dropped his price 50 cents. Do you still want to own it? Listen, the trend is your friend. You don't want to buck the trend. Let's look what's happening here in level 4, which I'm going to teach you next. Look at this seller. He was here. Then he pulled his order. See right here? See how it went blank? When people saw that, it went back up. And then all of a sudden, he comes back at 13. And then it went right back down. Is everyone following along the pattern that's happening here? So basically what he did is he was trying to sell at 1350. He couldn't get out. He actually probably hit the bid, and then somebody else came in and like, you know what? I got another 250,000 shares to sell at 13. But when he left, it went back up from 12. I mean, it dropped $1.50. And then it went all the way there. Now, how much smarter and better trade decisions if you were able to see that? Do you think a Fibonacci could tell you that? Do you think a 200 moving average could tell you that? You think Kramer on TV could tell you that, fellow traders? No. What could tell you that is learning and how to follow the money. Let's look at Roku. Want to look at something else? $96 stock, 930. Stock is going down, 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 down. Now we're down to 93. Okay. So let's look at this, fellow traders. If you were in this situation, right, what do you do? Do you sell? Do you hold on? What do you need? And what have you done in the past to kind of give you the sense of direction of how to deal with a stock that's going down like this? No, we don't sell. That's the wrong answer. Wrong answer. That's why you're losing money. Patrick, you're right. I'm not going to bring that up right now, but I'm waiting for the rest of the other 90 people that are in the room. Use your indicator. Okay. No problem. Which one? Green, sell, wrong answer. What happens if you're at a support level? Right? What happens if you just came up to a 21,000 share buyer? Now, it's not like that 200,000 share buyer, right? I mean, seller before, but everyone else out here is buying like 20 shares, 200 shares. And this is Roku. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, why would anybody buy 24 shares? Listen, that's the market. Probably didn't know that. So 21,000 is obviously a lot. It's almost like 100 times more the average out there. So right there, we have support levels at 93.30. All right. Look what happened when it hit 93.30. You said sell. Reen. Shanti, you said sell, right? Didn't you? Mike, you said sell. Why would Why would you sell if you're at a major support levels? Why would you sell if there was a buyer out there? Because guess what? Once it hit that big buyer, it never broke it. It went up, came back down, tested them again, then went back up, right back down to 94. So this is how you convert you can convert a loser back into maybe a winner or a break even, because you didn't see the orders in the future. Let's see some more. AMD. Okay? They do it on every single stock. AMD. It's going up. Now, what's the game plan when you have a stock that's going up? Always looking to take a profit. We get to AMD, and now we get to about 150, and we got 142,000 shares looking to be sold. There's 1,747 orders out there that make up that 142,000 shares. You want to have a game plan? You want to enjoy the ride? And you want to know why stocks back off like they do? Well, that's reading the future. And if you didn't read that future, look what ended up happening. Stock had a great run up from 146 by 9:30. By 10:30, gets to the retrace time. Seller pops up. Now we're back down to 149. Now, listen, you could probably at the end of the day, if you got lucky or whatever, you skilled in there, you got in at the right time. But then how many times have you bought a stock and like, damn, I should have sold it sooner? Oh, I threw away some extra money. That's what it's about. We'll look at PAPL in a minute. Okay, we'll look at it. But I want to kind of keep showing you examples. Like look at NVIDIA, for example. All right. NVIDIA had a 2,000 share seller at 500. 2,000 orders. Not 200. Not, you're talking 2,000. Now, what I want to point to is this. NVIDIA had a great run up. All right, ran from 146, 493, all the way to 496, right? What do you think happens next when we get close to 500? Can anybody tell me? What do you think is going to happen? Coming up to that big seller. Wow, you guys are really catching on quickly. Okay, you catch it on quickly. So it hit 500, it came back down. It hit 500, came back down. Hit 500, came back down. Hit 500, came back down. Okay. Not only did it come back down, it dropped. It went from 500, and this is in one day. Went all the way back down to 482 in one day. Dropped 20 points. So you had a great run up in the morning. You came up to the 125,000 share seller. It stayed there for several hours, and then finally he wasn't letting loose, and boom, it goes down to 182. Now, let's see that again. I want to show you something pretty cool right here. Now, the thing you're probably going to ask yourself is say, well, Fausto, NVIDIA is trading at 716. How old are these slides? Well, this is what I want to point out to you. There's a purpose why I wanted to show you NVIDIA. Look at this trend line right here. See this pattern from July? Look at the resistance levels here, 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 here. Look at all the times it hit 500, came back down. 500, came back down. 500, came back down. Finally, not too long ago, sometime in January, somebody bought all those shares. Stock broke all-time highs. This seller out there that's been holding it forever has now let it, got executed. What do you think is going to happen if you're talking about a $60, $70 million order out there getting filled? Exactly what you see what's happening right now. So, this is what makes these stocks go up and go down. Billy, that's a great question. Billy's question is, where do we place our orders once we see these big block orders? Well, Billy, listen, this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm glad that you're asking that question because that's a great question. And I'm going to answer that question in great detail. And you know when? I'm going to invite you in my trading room for one whole week, and you're going to see exactly where to go in there. My goal here is I'm not here to teach you this is the way you got to get in. This is where you got to get out. This is the stock we found. I got no time for that. Guess what? We're almost out of time. Didn't I tell you it was going to go fast? Didn't I tell you it was going to go fast? But don't worry about it. I can't teach you how to make money in 50 minutes. All I can do is spark your interest. But what I'm looking to do is I want to show you this live in the market. You know, I want you to see it all day long. And because we want to practice what we preach. So let me bring back up my PowerPoint. Let's just see this one more time. OMGA. Stock had a really nice push up here. Oops, sorry about that. All of a sudden, we come up to a 250,000 share seller out here at 580. Hits the 580. Now we're at 546. Now we're down to $5. He's still out there. 580, he's still there. Stock is going down, down, down. It goes all the way to 492. Okay? All because a big iceberg order. And listen, there are 2,000 share sellers, 5,000, 4,000, 6,000, 250,000. What do you think people are thinking? I can tell you what people are thinking. They're thinking what you're not thinking. And what you're not thinking is, I didn't know I had this data for myself. So this is what's going to happen. I want you all to take my personal email address. I'll write this down because you're probably asking, Fausto, how do I get this data? Okay. And let me ask a dumb question. How much money would you pay for having a seat on the exchange? What do you think? What would you pay for this? What do you think? What's this worth to you? How much money? Just want to take a wild guess. Priceless? Well, Brett, you know probably what it costs. What's it worth to you? To see where 50% of the buyers see these 250,000. How much money you would have saved if you knew and saw those 250,000 share sellers? A lot, right? Absolutely. Hundreds? Okay. Guess what? When I started 30 years ago, I had to pay $1,000 a month for this data. Imagine a 22-year-old back in the 90s coming up $1,000. I know for a fact 95% of you right here would be like, I don't know, Fausto, that sounds like a lot of money. Listen, you want to learn how to trade? That's what it costs. And that eliminated about 95% of the people out of the room. I was at 5%. But guess what? Doesn't cost $1,000. Doesn't cost $500. Doesn't cost $100. Doesn't even cost $50. You know what it costs? $15. Now, this is what boggles my mind. $15 to see 50% of all the orders out there? Think about how much money you spent. Think how much money you just lost today, or how much you could have saved on a stock, even if it was a profit, if you could see all those big iceberg orders for $15 a month. What is that, 50 cents a day? Or even less, I think, right? Are you kidding me? Seriously? You don't want, well, it is 50%, 50 cents a day because doesn't work on Saturdays and Sundays. You wouldn't want to pay that to see where half the volume, to have a seat on the exchange. Okay? And if that's the case, fellow traders, I'm just going to give you some little advice. You probably should quit trading right now and go back, because they just passed a law. They raised minimum wage. And you can make more money work at McDonald's. Okay, it probably was at $15 an hour now they're paying. Well, New York City paying $20 an hour. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Why you would not want that is beyond me. All right, so you think level 3 is great? Wait till you see level 4. Level 4, we're going to see orders. And the thing is, everybody wants to see, oh, how do you trade the MACDs? How do you trade this? Look at this. It's like big spaghetti. You really think this is more valuable to you than to follow orders? Do you know who invented this stuff? Mathematicians. They're not traders. This is all predicated on past history. Oh, the 200 moving average. Yeah, 200 moving average? You know what that means? The 200 day? I'd rather see, could you tell me the 200 future? Okay. I would rather look at this CLSK and knowing where I saw a big iceberg order of 84,000 than seeing some MACD crossing over with a 200 with an RSI. You know what I mean? Now, can I look at some of your stocks? I would love to. Okay, I would love to. And and basically I'll look at one right now. I think one of you told me a stock, right? We just told me let's look at one right here. Was yeah, paper was what was the one you guys were telling me? PYPL? PYPL. All right, let's look at PYPL. Stock took a big hit, right? It's got a nice little push this morning. Let me bring something up right here. So what's your game plan? Reen, what's your game plan on the stock? What are you doing with it? Took a big hit from 65, went all the way down to about almost 56. What are you doing? What's your game plan? You sold at 64? Okay. So you got lucky. You got lucky. You got out. Good thing you got out because you would have got crushed, right? That doesn't help me. That's not going to teach anybody anything. Okay. I want to look for somebody that has a position and is in trouble. That's what I'm looking for. Who's got a stock right now and they like, Fausto, I don't know what I'm going to do with this stock. I don't know if I should get out. I mean, like, what do I do? Okay. Hold on. I just got to fix some stuff here. I got to bring up. So here. Hold on. Just got to fix up there. Oh, what am I doing here? Bid right here. I'm just fixing my columns here. Hold on a second. All right. So PLTR. Well, that's an option call. I'm looking for a stock. DraftKings. Let me see. DKNG. Okay. So are you doing well on DraftKings? Because it's been going up. Are you long or you short, Richard? I mean, are you long or you short? Because the stock's doing pretty decent. You're long. Okay. So you probably want to know where to get out. So DraftKings, just to bring this up right here, what we do here at Cyber Trading University, we teach you this. Here's DraftKings. Here's the stock. You're looking right here. It looks like you probably got some resistance levels somewhere around 74, right? So DKNG, hold on a second. Let me bring something up here. 1,000. All right, so here's a live order right here. Now, 43 to 47 is a lot. So what I see right here on DraftKings is this. Oops. You have a 45,000 share. You got a 30,000 share sell at 43, a 45,000 sell at 45.50. Okay, here's the big one right here. You got a 100,000 share seller at 45. All right. So 45 is right here. And you probably could say, okay, there's some support levels right there at those lows back in 2021. So looking at there, that should really be one of your targets. Looks like the stock is moving in 50-cent intervals. Now, I'm going to do one last one for you, okay? Okay. Now, I want to show you level 4. All right, just give me a second here. Let me look at something. Because I want to go way, 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 way out. Okay. So right here, there is a 1.2 million share seller at 50 bucks. All right. So, Richard, did you know there's a 1.2 million share seller right now hovering around $50? $50 is right there. And you could see here, back in 2021, that was the resistance levels. Now, think about how much smarter and better trading decisions. How much money is that, by the way? 1.2 million shares. It was over like 60 million bucks, right? How much? Now, let me get to the option traders out there. When you trade options, right? Aren't you trading options, like into the future, knowing that, oh, you're anticipating it's gonna be at this price, at a target, and then you're gonna go short. Like, I think the stock's gonna go lower, so by the time I can, my option's gonna kick in, it's gotta hit this price. How do you think options get their data from? What do you think these orders are? Am I going anywhere? You following along? Good. Now, my question to everybody here is this. Who here wants to learn more about seeing this live in the market? Good. So this is what I want to do. I want to invite all of you to come to my trading room. And you'll see why Cybertrade University, why we've been around for 30 years, why we've been doing this for so long. And the most important thing I want you to see is, like, you'll notice us as traders and my instructors, we don't tell you what to buy and sell. You're going to watch our traders, how they think for themselves. You understand? It's not about, you don't want someone to tell you what to do. We're great fishermen, but we're a captain of the ship. We're going to take you where the fish is. If you read the Bible, it always tells you, feed a man a fish, you feed him for the day. You teach a man how to fish, you feed him for life. We want to teach you how to fish. And that is the mistake that people make. And I don't know about you, but I'm a big fisherman. You know what the most important thing about fishing is? Making sure you don't get in trouble, because the ocean does not stop. You got to make sure how the sea conditions, okay? We know where they are, but you don't want to go out there on rough seas. You want to make sure everything is safe. The boat's safe. Everything's safe. Trading's the same thing. You got to think of safe first before you go out there and do it. So this is why Cybertrade University, and you probably will never see this in any webinar, that we're endorsed and sponsored by more brokerage firms and exchanges than any school in the industry. Any of them. This is why, and let me tell you, fellow traders, these companies do really big background checks on us. You think Thinkorswim wants Cybertrade University to train their clients if we're teaching them how to lose money? So don't worry about doing your homework, okay? They already did it for you, all right? And that's the kind of reputation you're dealing with. And not only that, this is why we have a high rating here at 4.9 on Google, okay? So, and the only reason why I got one bad review, because one of my competitors was jealous. I beat him in a competition. And they could do that. But anyway, that's fine. Listen, I want all of you guys to come to the trading room and watch this live. Yes, Brent, and we're also endorsed by Well Charts. Absolutely. And like I said, we got over 100 people. We can't put them all on that list. It can get a little crazy. But anyway, right there, fellow traders, we start trading. We start commentary early in the morning. We do live commentary in the afternoon. We have great presenters, gurus, some of the top traders in the industry. So one of you guys asked me about, what about futures and options? We have some of the best traders that come into Cybertrade University. We'll talk about them, and they'll teach you our style, how to use it towards them. You're going to get all this stuff here at Cybertrade University. Now, you're probably asking me, how can I register? Okay, so this is what you got to do. Everybody got their phone? You could click the link right now in the chat on the right-hand side, or you turn your camera on and scan that QR code, and all it's going to cost you is $9. That's it. $9. We invented the $9 trial, out there. Money back guarantee. Now, why $9? Now, I'll tell you why. I don't need your $9, okay? I'm looking for serious people. Remember I told you about the $15 to get the exchange? Well, you know what? It's going to be cheaper to buy at 9 through us to kind of see it live in the market. So listen, if you're serious about trading and you want to understand the whole philosophy behind it, here's your chance to see what it's all about. Now, we're not going to try to overcharge you and tell you what happens after the week or any of that stuff. I only have less than an hour to talk to you, but now you're going to have a whole week. Think how much you learned being here within the hour. Imagine being here for a whole week. And not only that, you're going to get more than that. I'm going to give you my book, $47. Ebook download, color book, fast read. Okay, #1 bestseller. I'm also going to give you workshops. I'm also going to give you a trader's library. Okay, it doesn't stop. I'm going to give you one more last bonus, probably the best of them all. I will give you a free coaching class. Yes, could you imagine you talking to me on the phone? And the only way I'm going to do it is this. You take me seriously, I'll take you seriously. I've been doing this way too long. I hate people losing money. I want to support you to succeed in trading. Or better yet, maybe tell you the facts and tell you if it's for you or not. Why not go out there, make a small investment, and just try it out? What do you have to lose? I wish I had the opportunity to talk to people, if it's email marketing or whatever, for $9 to get, and you know what? And then see if they're really the right program for me. Most people out there, fellow traders, they're going to want to sell you a class for $195 and then sell you another class for $1,000, another $2,000 down the road. And you know what? You'll never talk to the owner. You'll never get questions answered. We want you to see the customer service at Cyber Trader University. We want to teach you how to play the game. So all you need to do is click on that link, register now. Now, this is what you're going to get. All this wonderful stuff right here. Traders Talk Library, coaching session with Fausto, 3 pro workshops, live commentary in the trading room, the Fausto book. You're going to get my book, all for $9. Now, when you register, 2 things are going to happen. First of all, there's going to be an area where we're going to ask you 5 questions. We want to know a little bit about you. Make sure you're qualified in a way of let us know who you're trading with. Have you ever taken any trading before or anything? And then the next one, you're going to go to a calendar. You're going to book a time to make an appointment to talk to us. Click on that calendar. If you don't know what's a good time, just pick anything. Our staff is going to call you by today, okay, or latest tomorrow. We'll get you booked in there. We'll get you locked in, make sure, and then we can always schedule it. No, that's a great question. What happens after a week? Is there an automatic charge? No. Let me explain something to you. I hate people that do that because you know what? I dispute the charge. I don't need disputes because I'll get kicked out of my credit card company. I don't need disputes. I don't need to try to hit you with something. If you want to move forward with Cyber Trader University, you are going to be drooling and want to do this. If you don't want to continue with us, please, we're not going to go out there and try to get you into catch-22 and hit you with a fee down the road. That's not something we do. Okay? I think that's kind of sleazy. Now, I see a bunch of you registering right now, and just a couple of shout-outs. Rennie, I got your registration. Where you from, Rennie? Didn't see where you came from. Oh, there you are. You're from San Jose? Oh, perfect. My videographer's from there. Who else we got here just registered? Rhonda, I got your registration from New Boston. Welcome aboard. Who else we got? Andrew P. from Miami. Good to see you all. Welcome aboard. Nate, I see you from Oakland, California. Welcome aboard. Beautiful. All right. I see a bunch of you still registering right now. Who else we got here? Newsom, Chicago, got your registration. Can we register on Monday? Listen, you could register on Monday, but listen, it's fresh in your mind. Just get it out of the way. It take you literally 30 seconds. Okay? And then just worry about that Monday. What do you got to do on Monday? But if you got to run, you got to run. But take a snapshot of it. Just get it out of the way and put it on the side. All right? Lock it in. And now I have a couple of seconds. I got a couple of minutes. Does anyone have any questions in the meantime? Do we need a brokerage firm? That's a good question. No, you don't need a brokerage firm. We don't want you to buy anything. We just want you to watch the traders in the room. That's it. We want you to do the workshops, and that's it. How much money you need to trade? I'll tell you how much money you need to trade. $9 right there. That's all you need is $9 right now. Okay. If you can't afford 9, you can't afford to trade. That's the way I look at it. All right. What was another other questions coming across? Could I put it off? Could I start it the following? Yes, you can. Listen, just right now, just lock it in. And then when you talk to education advisor, you do it from then. You know, we start during the market hours. It's Eastern Standard Time. So we actually open up the room at 8 a.m. in the morning because Eastern Time. So you'll get a lot of action that's happening in pre-market. I don't know if you guys ever saw pre-market trading. And then we start doing, listen, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Instagram, we're live on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all the social medias. So please make sure you subscribe to our channel too. So please don't forget to do that. But in the meantime, as you do that, you'll be able to be in the trading room during those hours. Billy, we do not sell it. We do not work for the brokerage firms. We do not work for the exchanges. We are brokerage firm neutral. We work for you, okay? We have no allegiance to anybody, no allegiance. We'll give you the link, okay? And listen, we don't make any money off it. I just rather feel you have the right stuff before you go out there and just buy it, you know, because you'll end up making more harm than good. I previously registered, but I have not yet attended. Can you have my education advisor call me? Well, Larry, basically, you should have their contact information. I don't know what it is, but you could email me, all right? But you should, if you don't have the email, follow the person you spoke to last, and I'll take care of that for you. But you have the number. You can always call us. It's 877, let me put it in there, 70 cyber, okay? Maria has a question. Maria has a good question. She says, so after the trial, what's the course do you offer? Mari, first of all, I didn't see you register yet. That's number one, okay? Number two, is that important right now? Is that even a conversation? Okay. As of right now, you don't even know where to follow those big orders. Right now, you're losing thousands of dollars every day. Let's worry about the $9 first, and then we'll worry about that later. Okay. First, to see if you're qualified to trade. Maybe you need to go back to your broker, or you just go back to your regular job, right? And we'll know right away. But let's worry about that first. So as of right now, it's $9. You're more than welcome, Larry. Any other questions? All right, I got to get back to my traders, fellow trader. I want to get ready to trade the close today, and I want to get ready for, you know, there's a couple of stocks that might be moving due to the Super Bowl, but there's been some really good stocks that have been moving, and want to kind of show you. If you want, oh, can I start now? Yes, you could jump in the room right now if you want to. If you register, we'll send you all the logon instructions so you can see the afternoon close. Absolutely. Definitely do that. All right. You're more than welcome. Billy says, thank you for the fun. Well, thanks for coming. Who runs the room? All of us. I just showed you that before. There are several of us in there that are running the room, and we're running it all day long. Okay. So I will be there. Thank you very much, Margaret. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate the vote of confidence. Thanks for being here. And by the way, if you did not register, listen, maybe it's not the right time. I understand. Maybe you feel like you're not financially ready for it. But let me just warn everybody something. If you can't afford $9, you can't afford to trade, okay? And you might not like our style yet, but everybody's need to learn from somebody, and you're going to need to learn from a few people. I had people always told me, Fausto, I took a class with somebody. I want to see if I can get this working first. Listen, if it's not working now, it's not going to work later. I know a lot of us paid a lot of money for education, and you're like, I got to get this to work. Listen, no, you don't. Okay. If you bought a lemon, and you know what a lemon is, right? You know, when you buy a car, a brand new car, and it's a lemon, okay? It keeps breaking, and like, yeah, but I just bought the car. I can't. Listen, you got to know when to take your losses and move on. You know you need that car, but if you got a lemon, you got to move on. All right. Let's move on. Let's start off with the $9, and let's see if we can fix that. All right, guys. But just remember, you have to learn before you earn. Thanks everybody for listening. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Super Bowl weekend. And I'll see you in the trading room. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy trading.
On the boulevard, we can go. There's a trash, got a pocket full of cash, we can go. Got some control, and it's all. Girl, you'll say no, no, no. Say like a friend, because it's a so what you want to do? Let's just go. Girl, if we wake up and you wanna break up, let's go. No, I won't let you move. It's just go. Don't say no, no, no. Say no, and we'll go. Like a friend, because it's a just say yeah. Say